You have one basket, you technically can build a whole 18-hole course with one basket. It's just moving around that pin and creating different types of shots.
Welcome to the Empowered Podcast, Why Disc Golf. Today we have Catalyst Katie with us, joining us to discuss why she continues to play disc golf, as well as what it is like to live what I'm sure some of us have dreamed about, living not only on a farm, but a horse farm that is a disc golf course. Welcome, Katie.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let's get right into it. Starting out with, tell us about why you continue to play disc golf. What keeps bringing you back to the sport?
Sure. So there's a lot of reasons, but my top ones would have to be, let's see, from a physical standpoint, definitely enjoy the fact that I can grow older with a sport. I played sports my whole life, but a lot of those were a lot more strenuous. So it's nice to grow with a sport that I can enjoy over time because let's get real, I'm not getting any younger. So that's definitely one point. From a mental standpoint, I'd have to say I enjoy sometimes the challenges of a mental game. Really enjoy, taking those lessons that I learned on the course and trying to apply them off the course in overall life, staying focused, keeping calm under pressure. We all get nervous. So it really exposes you, but helps you grow in that element. But my top reason would honestly have to be the community. The disc golf community is just so supportive, so kind. My closest friends at this point in my life all came from disc golf, and I'm very grateful. And if I could share that and expose other people to that and hopefully help make their lives even more positive, they're going to find it in disc golf, and that's why I continue.
And that's amazing. Actually, I hadn't thought about that first point of growing with the sport. And you don't hear about that often, but it's so true. It is a sport that any age can play. And if I wanted to, I could take years to become a pro,
Yeah.
pro. So even if I don't feel up for that dedication of level of play right now, I can grow with the sport and maybe eventually do that. So that's really interesting, a good point of you to have on the perspective of the sport. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my body taught me that one. So
So let's get into the disc golf course it's called Horse Farm Disc Golf Course, correct?
It is called it's had a few names over the times, but we kind of refer to it now as the horse course. It is located at a farm, which is called Country Hayes Farm, which is operated by Travis's mom. So it's kind of like the horse course at Country Hayes Farm.
Love it. Okay, and this sounds amazing. So let's get started with you first telling us how this came about. I know you just recently got into disc golf 2 years ago, correct?
Yep. About 2.5 years ago. So yeah, this all came to life honestly before I came into the picture. So it started as a dream between two best friends, my boyfriend Travis Hayes and his best friend Tim Gaddy. They had been playing disc golf for a while. Travis played in college up at Mars Hill University in Asheville. And he introduced the sport actually to Tim. And they played, and just like most of us, once we get hooked, we're like, well, I need a basket at home so I can practice. So it kind of started there. They had one basket, would practice putting. But Travis is also very creative. I love his mindset. It's something I do really admire about him. That one basket to him, he already saw an 18-hole course. And he really wanted me to push this message. So anybody listening, if you have one basket, you technically can build a whole 18-hole course with one basket. It's just moving around that pin and creating different types of shots. So you don't have to have, 50 acres like we do. You can make it happen, but that's how it started. And then, they're like, well, let's put a second basket so we don't have to walk back and forth as much. Then 2 turned into 3. And that was the putting sanctuary is what they used to call it. They would putt at it and throw at it, but they would be standing in the woods. Then it evolved into, well, why don't we move the baskets into the woods and throw at them that way? And then from there, it just really grew organically for them. They enjoyed it. When they first started, it's not like they had all the equipment they needed. So it was placing baskets in the woods and working with the natural land. But then once it kind of evolved and they, of course, got more and more baskets, they started making holes, and every now and then they would take a tree out. And as that process began, they also started growing their tool collection, which is pretty outrageous, but it takes a lot of tools to get a course built. Four-wheelers were purchased. We already had a tractor. So from there, that's how it originally started before I came along. When I did get to finally come along and this was all introduced, they had definitely over half the course built. So they had more than 10 holes, I believe, at that point, but they still didn't finish. So I was able to kind of not only learn disc golf as a player, but get thrown into the whole mix. Being a player, watching them select land that they would like to create into a hole, course maintenance, learning how to help with that, and seeing why they fell in love with developing the course for sure. So that's kind of how it evolved. And I'm just grateful I got to kind of tag along and be a part of it. But it was their dream. I just fell in love with it and wanted to be a part of that dream. So.
Yeah, and it's a dream that I'm sure many of us have had. So it's pretty exciting. I would love to hear about what a regular day on the horse course is like, because I do imagine there is a lot of course maintenance that goes into upkeeping something like that, that most of us as disc golf players that just go to a park, play, and then go home don't ever really take the time to learn about or participate in, but I'm sure a lot goes into that.
Oh, definitely. And first off, mad props to any course designer, anybody who helps with course maintenance out there. Y'all don't get enough credit, but it is a lot of work, all volunteer hours, so mad props there. But let's see, a typical day. Well, it kind of honestly varies. So if it is a day where we're just going to go out and let's say maintain a certain hole, it kind of depends. So the first 6 holes on the course are open. They're pasture land, so you get the element of field, open field. You do have to worry about the wind elements. And then from hole 7 on, you go into the woods, and we definitely have some elevation change that kind of surprises people, especially for where we're located. But so when we're working in the woods, it just depends. Maybe we need to pack up, some sawzalls or chainsaws. We want to remove some trees. We do try not to remove that many trees, just preserve the land. But of course, we did ultimately build this course as a training facility. We wanted to have every type of shot out there where you could really work on your overall game. So it does kind of vary what hole or what we're looking at, but a typical day is we're going to wake up, definitely got to eat breakfast because we're most likely not coming home till sundown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're out there all day. You kind of just, as you pick one thing you want to go work on, and then you find something else and you're like, oh, well, let's go ahead and take this task on too,
Might as well, yeah.
Might as well, right? We're already out here. Things that pop up that you never think of. We got to worry about the water drainage. So sometimes we have to go out there and do trenching, which is actually kind of fun. You're like a kid again playing in the mud. So it's not so bad. And things like that, picking up sticks. We'll bring the tractor out some days and we'll just have a stick day where we drive the tractor along the holes. That way we can just load the bucket and it's a lot easier to transport. But we've learned that through trial and error versus picking up with our hands. What's more efficient, that or the tractor? So, you learn a lot as you just keep going with the process, because ultimately a course just keeps evolving. It's never stopping. So there's that. And that's definitely a lot different than days where we're going to go actually install a hole. That's a whole nother ball game right there. So on days where we do go try to install a new hole, which we're currently working on 2 new holes, 2 par 4s. We load up. Travis is also what I like to call natural engineer. He is a MacGyver. He can take something out of nothing and find a use for it. So he actually built a custom trailer that we refer to. It's called the Coursinator. It's a full trailer, so we can just load everything on there. Pole saws, like I said, sawzalls, chainsaws, rakes, pruners. Sometimes your batteries die, but you're not finished working for the day. So you bring battery operated tools, then got to go old school sometime back to those handhelds. So it definitely varies, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, just listening to you and you listing off all the tools that you guys use, I'm like blown away already. You are amazing.
Oh,
And how many holes do you guys have left to create? You said you were working on 2?
yes. So we do have a full 18-hole layout course. We have shorts and longs, so technically it's 2 courses in one. But right now there's one hole in particular where you have to go for it and then backtrack to get to the next hole. And so we're just trying to make the flow of the course a little bit smoother, especially for new players who come out here. So we're going to replace 2 of the holes with 2 par 4 holes. So right now we have 18. We're going to put in 2 more. The 2 that we're technically taking out, we're going to leave, but they're just temporary holes. And then sometimes during tournaments, we've had some great turnouts. So we do have the ability to move some horses out of the front pastures and set up more baskets and more temporary holes. So all in all, technically, we could have up to about 24 holes right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's pretty crazy to think that there's still so much land untouched for even possibly more holes. So we're kind of dreaming like maybe 2 actual different disc golf courses, both with longs and shorts. So ultimately 4 courses in a sense. So
Absolutely. And like you said, the course is going to probably keep developing forever.
yeah, exactly. That's why that second course hasn't happened. There's just like the first one just keeps evolving more and more and more. So
As we're playing the course, the 18-hole layout that you have, are we able to see the horses that are on the farm?
Correct. So on our property, on the 8 acres that are the 6 open holes, we have a pasture as well. So we do typically, if it's a tournament, remove those horses because hole 1 you technically can throw over, just for safety for the horses, of course. But during casual days, we do have people come out to the course and want to play. We do leave the horses there. We just ask them to be respectful, and if it's a close call, maybe not throw that shot. But if you feel comfortable, you're more than welcome to. So you can see horses sometimes in our front. His parents' property, definitely all the time. Her Mrs. Hayes's front pasture is gorgeous, where she holds most of the horses during the day, and they get to enjoy grazing. It's a big lot, so you do get to see them when you play through hole 6. You kind of cross past them. And then we have even more horses actually on the back side of the property. And every now and then we do have what we call kind of like free range horses. They're just a little bit older. They're not going to run off the property. So every now and then we have about 4 horses that we do kind of just let wander and graze. So you might have one walk up to you, but they're very friendly.
Oh, yeah, that's so exciting. I literally cannot wait to go visit this course.
Yes.
It is on my bucket list.
Yes, anytime.
So about that, moving forward then, is this a public course, a private course? How would we go about being able to visit and play the course?
Sure. So it is a private course because it is a working horse farm. We have, and I'm going to probably say this number wrong, but our horses change, the numbers change as well, just like the course. So we have about 15 horses. It is a working horse farm. His mom teaches dressage, horse lessons. So out of respect for that, and we live here, it is a private property, but we do allow people to schedule tee times. We just kind of require or suggest that maybe they play with a Lego League member because they know the course ultimately. So nobody will get lost is why. But if not, Travis and I are normally home in the evenings, so we're more than happy to have people come out, especially with the sun staying out a lot later now. We just have them either reach out to us through the horse course, either Facebook page or Instagram page, and send us a message. Also on UDisc, we're located on that app as well. I believe Travis's phone number is on there, so that feel free to text that. So that's kind of how we have people schedule it. It's just contact us just so we can go over some precautions, you know.
So exciting. All these private courses, I actually love them because they tend to be a little bit different. They have, you know, holes that you don't normally see anywhere else. You get to experience things like horses.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's so amazing. So those Instagram, Facebook handles will be listed below in the description. So you can be sure to contact them if you're ever interested in playing the course. I know it is on my bucket list. Now, where can we follow you, Katie, on your disc golf adventures?
So I am on Facebook and Instagram. That's pretty much the only outlets I'm really on or utilize a lot. You can find me under the handle Horse Course Girl. I kind of also made that easier so people would know who lived at the horse course. So it kind of tied together. So you can find me there.
That will be listed down below as well. Thank you so much, Katie, for coming on and joining us for Why Disc Golf. Everyone remember to follow her adventures. Her social media handles will be listed below in the description, as well as the horse course, because it sounds like there's some pretty exciting things in the works to look forward to. So remember to subscribe to our page as well and be a catalyst for change.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yay.